Inside PressBox is presented by Live Casino and Hotel. Always live, always on. And welcome into Inside PressBox. Stan the Fan Charles here with my co-host Gary Stein. And this week is a show that celebrates Baltimore's biggest winners.
It absolutely does, Stanley. We're talking with two recent champions and one franchise that's looking to get up off the canvas, so let's get to it. The Baltimore Blast completed their three-peat in May, once again taking down a Mexican club on the road with their win over the Monterey Flash. Now the three-time defending MASL champs are set to host the Canadian national team in an interesting friendly. More on that later in the show. Radio host of the Glenn Clark Show, that is Glenn Clark, stops by to talk about the Ravens' offseason, the Lamar Jackson buzz, and the Summer PressBox print edition, which features 52 stories about the great Ray Lewis ahead of his enshrinement into the Hall of Fame.
We're excited about that issue. But first up, Gary, you put it best back in March. Our next guest transformed UMBC men's basketball from one of Division I's worst performing programs into a conference champion and an all-time great tournament Cinderella in just 2 short seasons. A turnaround best characterized as a sports miracle. Let's welcome back in head coach of UMBC's men's basketball program and probably the second most important person behind Zach Seidel, and that is Coach Ryan Odom. Coach,
wow.
First of all, thank you for spending some time with us. What has this whirlwind been like since March started last year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy for sure. It's definitely been a whirlwind, just like you said, but a lot of fun. It's been a good busy, especially for these kids that work so hard for that moment. It's really neat to see them enjoy it.
Coach, take us back 2 years when you took the job, and you knew that UMBC, their record was their record for the 7 previous years, 43 wins in 7 years, now what, 46 in the last 2. What were your expectations at that point?
It's a great question.
Yeah, the expectations were simply to establish a winning culture, and that means a lot of different things. Certainly it translates to the court. You want to win on the court, obviously, but there's a lot of things that you have to do off the court that help you win on the court. Right. And so we wanted to just establish a winning culture initially, and we wanted to challenge our guys each and every day to try to max out and do their best. And when you do that, usually success follows. And the kids that we inherited here, the pieces that we added to what we already had, really meshed well. And the guys listened throughout, and they chased their dreams, and they did really well.
Coach, I don't know exactly what opportunities potentially were out there for you. I didn't know any of that. But I did know that the school immediately sought to link you there and keep you there for as long as possible. And it seems like a lot of coaches in that point would just be, how much more money can I make? From what I gather, money that you made wasn't as important as setting the program up for a sustained bit of success, maybe like Shaka Smart at VCU or something like that. Could you talk a little bit about that and that commitment that you gave back to the people that trusted you with the program?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you talk about trust, there is a trust factor that goes into these situations. And certainly I felt that, at UMBC with the leadership. Obviously it starts with Tim Hall, who's my direct boss, is the AD. And then, you could go on up to Dr. Rabowski, who, has been really proud of what these guys have been able to accomplish. And, our priorities are in order, at UMBC. And, certainly that's huge for me. You don't mess with happy either. I've never chased money, since I've been coaching, since I got out of college and quit playing. And this time was no different. And, they say you don't mess with happy.
Coach, we're watching B-roll, obviously, from UMBC's success in the postseason. Right now we're watching them take on Virginia. But the first shot we saw was the game winner that Jairus Lyles hit against Vermont in the America East Conference Championship. A lot of fans may not realize that UMBC had lost to Vermont 22 straight times.
Might have been 23.
Might have been 23 going into that game. Can you
including
take us,
the first ever game at the new arena?
Correct.
Yep.
In fact, the last time they beat them was in the championship season back in 2008.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my question is, can you take us back to the locker room before that game against Vermont for a minute and just kind of give us a little idea about what you may have talked to them about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked a little bit about that number, honestly, and how that number was irrelevant on that particular night.
Right.
You know, because it came down to that 40 minutes. You didn't have to beat them 23 straight times. You had to beat them once. Mm-hmm. And that's what we talked to our guys about. And we were in both games, you know, when we had played them prior, you know, in the regular conference season. I know the ending of the opening night, you know, there was a big difference there. But it was 46-41 or something like that, you know, in the second half. So our guys felt like they could play with them. And, you know, they were just ready to go for it, you know, at that particular time. There was really no pressure on us, and they played that way. Our guys played that way from the beginning to the very end.
One of the players that, and it was a tremendous team effort, top to bottom, but KJ Mara.
Yeah.
How absolutely difficult was he for other teams to get a beat on, and what kind of edge did that give you?
Yeah, I mean, we talk to KJ all the time about you got to be a pest, and a lot of that comes natural to him. I mean, it's unbelievable that, you know, he's 5'5", whatever he is, 135, you know, soaking wet, but he was the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how he impacted the game, and really special. The other coaches vote on that, and you know, we needed him to play that way for us to be successful. And then you talk about him on the offensive side of the team. I mean, he's just the spirit of the team. Yeah. He's the passionate guy, and you know, the way that he plays so unselfishly, it just feeds into the other guys.
Coach, we have about 20 seconds left. You guys are up for an ESPY coming up on July 18th in California. This is a momentous occasion. I know you're going out there. Just your thoughts now that you're nominated for this award. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's really special, obviously. I mean, you know, it's something that, you know, you never dreamed would happen. And here we are, and, you know, we're just happy to be nominated, quite honestly. I'm not really concerned about whether we win or not. My mom is. She's voting, you know, furiously every day. But, you know, it's just exciting for our players to be nominated for something like this, and our university, too.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in, Coach.
Absolutely.
We'll look forward to talking to you as we get closer to the season. Up next, after taking care of business for 3 straight years down in Mexico, the Baltimore Blast now have the Canadian national team in their sights. Blast president and general manager Kevin Healy has the details. Keep it here for more Inside PressBox.
And the Summer PressBox print edition is available now. A special cover story entitled Journey to Canton features memories of Ray Lewis' career from those closest to him. Pick yourself up a copy. It's available all around town at over 500 locations.
And Royal Farms' world-famous chicken has been ranked #1 in Food and Wine magazine. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. Inside PressBox is presented by Live Casino and Hotel. Always live, always on.